Hey guys, Smitty here. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back. Today we are going to be touring through this finished fishing village build, but firstly I just want to say how good it feels to be back building in Valheim again. It's obviously been a while since I've uploaded, and I definitely owe you all an apology and explanation for where I've been. Truthfully, it's just that the last month or so has been really crazy for me. There was a significant amount of time that I was out of town, and it just kind of led to this vicious cycle of being behind in my normal work and then trying to catch up because I am not a full-time YouTuber. And then I also coach track here in the spring, so it's just been a super busy time of year for me. Definitely been spread a little bit thin, so apologies that I've been away for a little bit, but I'm going to try to build some momentum here as things start calming down. But just kind of a heads up that uploads might be a little more spread out for the next couple months while I work through this busy time. But without further ado, grab a snack, grab a drink. Let's get right into it. Alright, so the fishing village. This is a build project that I started with you all, and it just kind of got left hanging while I went away. But wanted to finish this up, so I just kind of sped through the last of it and completed it. I just wanted to tie it up so I could start on a new project here, so sorry about that. But some of this stuff should be familiar if you followed this project, but a lot of this stuff should be new, so we'll cover just the whole build just to show what we got going on. I think we'll just go in a clockwise manner here. So first of all, obviously there was this bridge that I created to kind of connect the island town here to the mainland. Pretty simple, but I think it looks nice and clean. Just a fishing pier, nothing too crazy, but I think it lends itself to the feeling of this town kind of being inhabited. I'm also a big sucker for fishing, so had to incorporate a fishing pier. We'll just kind of go right into this. So this was the initial house that I created. The only thing different in here is that it is now furnished. So just nice and cozy. Again, nothing too crazy, but just feels like it's now inhabited and not just an empty box. So really like it. These like red curtains that were added in the last update are such a nice addition, just like decoratively. You'll see it kind of scattered throughout the build here with my decorations, but really like it. You'll notice some buildings are a little more decorated than others. That was really just because I had to be kind of selective with how I decorated this build because the instances start getting pretty high here. I think we're at almost 17,000, so I didn't want to completely set my computer on fire and definitely wanted to be able to record smoothly. So again, so some things might be a little more decorated than the others. It's probably a little more modest than I would typically decorate it. As we kind of come around the corner here, so this is also a new building, and I actually really like this one. So this was meant to be more of a tavern structure, but it follows more of the ramshackle look of the kind of houses we worked on over here. As you can see, it's just kind of layered, doesn't line up perfectly. It's got kind of a unique shape to it. But I think it turned out looking super interesting in the way that it's laid out here, because we kind of have this main floor that's kind of the dock, places to sit. We got the bar that kind of, this leads out to the dock where you might pull up in the ship, and then it kind of leads into this circular staircase up here to the more of like, I guess, a dining area. So definitely used a lot of the red curtains and carpet. I think it feels so cozy. I love it. Love that decorative addition. And then just kind of modestly decorated the tables with some drinks and some snacks. So yeah, nothing mind-blowing here, but I think it's just a nice design. Definitely unique with how it's layered. Got some nice lookouts and vistas, and I think it worked out really cool. I think it just looks interesting. Like the profile of it just looks kind of unique and interesting. Over here is just a little tucked away kitchen. I actually really like this too. It's really cozy space, quite compact, but maybe this is where we're making the pies and stuff. As we work our way over, so this section is pretty much the same as we left it. I decorated it a little bit, and it's really just more of a residential area. Just have some beds and some chests and stuff, but it's really more or less how we left it when we were building it previously. So yeah, this is just a really big community house here. Again, some of these houses are just smaller, more ramshackle, kind of random, but they all have just like some beds and some chests, as if maybe some of the residents of the town live here, kind of in these like dock home type houses. But yeah, this should be pretty much the same, but good variety in you know, house design here. We work our way around. You'll see that I built this kind of like gate that goes on both sides that leads up to a couple of just like towers, not super tall towers, but maybe we'd have some like guards up here that look over the town and look over the marketplace that we have. So we'll go down there and visit. But yeah, I mean, I think this looks kind of nice. It kind of splits up the build nicely. This actually leads into this building over here, which we'll cover here at the end. Yeah, and then this again, the story I kind of had in mind is like this would be where maybe the guards would be watching over things. But as we work our way down, this is where we get into the market. And to be honest, this might actually be my favorite part of this build, just because it's such a nice little storytelling element, right? So like this town, I think its story is really that it's at least in my mind was very like mercantile. It would have like robust trade, which is why we have like the big boathouse, which we'll take a look at, and you know, access to the water, right? So maybe this is what they're known for. So they have I created a bunch of little like kiosk, almost kind of like farmers market feel, and then some yeah, different like bins with different produce over here. Different merchants would come to this town and trade their goods, whether it be leathers or tools or weapons. Again, so yeah, not the most complex part of the build, but probably my favorite just because of that storytelling element. I just think this is my favorite part of the town. So over here we got people selling some fish, some fishing rods. Maybe we got a butcher over here selling some meats. Yeah, I just really like it. Really like it. This is where I would spend my time if I was in this town. We go over here. This is just the dock house, the boathouse that we had worked on. It's pretty much the same as we left it. This is another area that I didn't really decorate. I didn't feel the need to compared to some of the other areas, so decided to save up some instance resources by leaving that blank. But still one of my favorite builds in this one, just because I think when we created it, it was kind of like the dragon boathouse, right? So you got the dragon heads and maybe some like wings that come along on each side, and even for the long ship kind of goes right in here in the middle. So I always really like that. I think it's got a really nice profile to it. But yeah, so really like that town. I like how the boathouse kind of leads right into the market, which I think makes sense, right? So if you got all the tradesmen coming in with their goods on the boats, should lead right into the stalls. So really like that. So this over here is actually the biggest structure of the build. And this is kind of like the town hall. I think is kind of how I envisioned it. So yeah, much bigger. I really like it because we kind of have like an under area that's kind of tucked away. It's kind of stilted over the water here, but there's the path or the walkway going up, which is kind of interesting because I made it curved. But have this little under area with maybe some good supplies being stored under here. Maybe you could have a little like rowboat come through here, get some goods in. But I always appreciate when a build has utilizes different levels like that, right? So you have the walkway going up, you have a different area going underneath. I think that just makes it much more interesting. As we go up in here, so here's the doorway. We have just closet space in here. A corner fireplace, which is not something I usually do, but it just seemed to be kind of where it fit here. And then yeah, we kind of have the town hall, so maybe like the mayor or the jarl or whoever it is that kind of runs this town. Maybe he stays in the nice house on the hill. This is where he resides. And then we just have some tables where people can be merry and feast, so on and so forth. And then we got some nice balconies that kind of surround the build itself. We got an outdoor table as well if we want to sit outside. And then I kind of like how this stairway just leads to this little island, like little mini island right here. Maybe you could like fish off here or something like that. So yeah, definitely the biggest part of the definitely the biggest individual build part of this town, but I think it turned out quite nice. Oh, and I forgot to mention, so the walkway here from the tower actually leads into this building as well. So I thought that was kind of cool. I think it all turned out really well here. You know, definitely one of the bigger, you know, projects I've worked on, and it just feels cozy and like a quaint little town, and I really like that. And it just, again, it feels really good to be building again. Like I get a lot of like peace, I think, from building. It's just very like therapeutic for me. My life has been pretty crazy recently, and it's just good to revisit this again. And I really enjoyed it, and it's kind of like my little escape. I hope I can maybe provide a little bit of an escape for you all who watch as well. But so again, sorry for kind of zipping through and finishing up the project. Usually I like to show a little more of the process here, but again, just wanted to wrap this one up so I could start on some other builds. Hopefully I was still able to give you guys some inspiration, maybe some ideas for your own worlds, own towns. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks.